Hey, welcome to Cherish TV. You might be wondering, things look a bit strange up there, and you're right, because we have added the Y chromosome to the desk in the form of Andy and Dr. Matt. Welcome, guys.
Come on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited to hear what you have to contribute. I bet you're excited too. We're going to kick it off with one of the burning questions that we've been asked so many times. Why am I still single? Not me, but others. I got married at 17.
Right.
So that's a question I've never asked. Becky?
Why am I still single? Well, there may be some reasons, and we're absolutely going to get into that. But I think before we get into those reasons, I actually want to say there may not be a reason.
Right.
I think sometimes we can overthink it, and we think something's terribly wrong with us if we're not married. But we don't like that answer because we want there to be a problem so we can fix it so we can get married. But sometimes there isn't a reason. It could just be timing. Maybe you're ready, but maybe your Mr. Right isn't ready.
Yes.
And really quickly before we move on, and I'll throw to Emma, but I want to say that sometimes I do think people are single because they're looking not for Mr. Right, but Mr. Perfect. And I think that can really be problematic.
Because he doesn't exist.
No, I mean, I was by far from perfect when John met me.
Not
I was
you, Matt.
absolutely crazy. So you don't have to be perfect to meet, your
If
Mr.
he's
Right.
acting like it, he is not it.
Yeah, that's right.
There you
That's so
go.
true.
That's right.
Ooh, it's all smoke and mirrors.
Well, okay, so two things. Number one, I don't actually think, and this might be controversial, I don't know what you guys think, I actually don't think there's ever one person for somebody. When God created the 7 billion people on the planet, I don't think he was so limited that there was only one person you could ever fall in love with. So just to let some people
Unless you were Adam and Eve, and then there literally
there
was
was
one.
one.
Touche. All right, I take that. But unless you're Adam and Eve, there could be multiple opportunities for people to be happy with and have a great life with. Second of all, can we dispel the myth around this thing of you need to find your other half? You do not have half people walking around this planet. And if you are a half person,
That'd be awkward.
please get some counseling because you shouldn't be half. It's two whole people finding each other. So why you're still single? Maybe it's as simple as that, not realizing that you are a whole person. So the quest to find your other half can be over because you're just finding somebody else who's whole and you're whole.
Right.
And also just realizing, I love that, expectations, like really addressing the situation. There isn't perfect people out there. So if you're looking for Mr. Right, you're going to keep looking because he doesn't actually
Mr.
exist.
Perfect,
Or
yeah.
Mr. Perfect.
Right.
Boys, what do you
Mr.
have to
Perfect,
say?
yeah.
What are we missing here? What are we
I'm already in
missing?
the hole because half those lines I used on my wife to get her. So now I'm thinking to myself, she's going to watch this and I'm
She's
your
gonna
other
know the
half.
thing
All
is
these
up.
things are gone.
Right.
Shoot, I'm glad she said yes. No, I have a couple thoughts on the matter.
us.
Just, I think there are some reasons that some people are single, and I just think it's on what age they're in. And I do think, everybody knows that men are a little bit or a lot bit more immature than ladies.
I know
And,
that to be true.
one thing that I will say is that I've just watched this generation, and a lot of men fear rejection. It's easier to go home and play Nintendo or war games or sit in the basement with their buddies than it is to maybe, get let down. That's why we have these apps. They're not dating apps. They're really like hookup apps.
Yeah.
And if they feel like there could be a little, they rather just, I rather go get on social media and do things that are inappropriate.
So you're saying some men are relationally dysfunctional, so it's easier to go home, flip open the laptop, and a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but a growing amount of men are getting involved in pornography.
Huge amount.
So a lot of that is happening because of their dysfunctions in relating to the opposite sex.
Fear of rejection.
Right.
But here's a great example. I met my wife, and on our third date, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you got to cut your hair." And I thought my hair was the bee's knees, man. It was Keanu Reeves long. Remember that hair? And the
So
third date,
heartbreak.
my wife looked right at me and said, or she was my girlfriend. Well, we weren't even girlfriends. It's our third date. She goes, "If I'm going to date you, you got to cut your hair." You know what I did? I'm like, "Well, I want to
Cut
date
my
you."
hair.
Guess what I did? I sat down right there. Her sister cut all my hair off, and I'm like, "Well, I got a good look. I hope she doesn't dump me, but if she does, oh well,
So
at
you
least
got to
I'm
be
looking
flexible.
good."
So when you find the one, like, don't be precious about, no, hang on, this is me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we reject people because of the packaging, and I think a lot of I've had friends that will reject people because of how they dress or the haircut. I remember that haircut. Thank God you took your wife's advice.
It's amazing.
But some of these things, it doesn't match up with the image we had in our head of what we thought our spouse was going to look like, and sometimes we need to get over that expectation. But also, you're right. It's a haircut. It's some contacts or laser surgery if the glasses bother you. It is a trip to Nordstrom's. It's not that difficult.
Can we talk about the flip side of expectation? So there's an expectation about the packaging, but there's also expectation sometimes around dating that is so intense, particularly in the church world,
it's
I'd
out
say.
there sometimes.
Like, we need to talk about this. It's like if you're single, it's way elevated. Like, it's actually okay to be single. Can we say that? Like, there's nothing wrong with you to be single. That's okay.
Yeah.
But secondly of all, it's actually in a church setting. Can we not have it be such a stigma to date?
Yeah.
Like, so many times people aren't dating because they seem like a player if they're dating in church.
The wolf, the proverbial wolf,
Yes. Come
right?
on.
Stalking the sheep.
And the Bible
And the guy
says,
doesn't
you know,
wanna
you've
be
got to
that.
judge a tree by its fruit. How do you taste the fruit unless you go out and
Well,
like,
how do you judge a fruit? We want to
Yeah,
talk about tasting the
yeah,
fruit.
that
Judge
was
the
Well,
fruit.
appropriate.
I mean,
Yep,
that's
as
right.
we
We
said
will
it.
certainly judge it.
Right, we do.
tasting
We
to-
shame,
Yes.
women complain that men aren't asking them out, but then when men start asking people out, they call them players.
Yes.
And if they are a player, the truth will come into the light. If you
Absolutely.
are messing around with multiple women and being inappropriate, that will come out. But I think we need to stop shaming men for actually being brave enough and courage enough
Come
to step
on,
out,
yes.
Because not
potentially
enough
be
of them
rejected.
are doing it.
Not enough.
Right.
Do
That's
you
what I'm
think
saying.
more men would though if we weren't so intense about like, if
Yeah,
you take me
I
to
think-
coffee, we think we're getting
I think
married?
so. I think, can
Oh,
a guy
for
ask
sure.
her out on a date and it not be wedding bells in your head?
Right.
Because a guy can sense that, and that anxiety, that sort of that overbearing need for someone in your life straight away is so repelling to a guy.
It is. We start writing our last name with theirs on our notebooks after the first date.
Yeah.
Like we need to chill out.
So if a guy knows he can ask you on a date and get
Right.
to observe the fruit,
Yes, good.
then it's a lot more inviting.
We
a
can
lot
smell
more-
it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the
Right.
pheromones are coming. Literally, I tell all my guys, listen, ask out dates and just go to
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah,
Because
nice.
as fast as you drink that thing, you're out.
Right.
But if it's going good, you can then go to appetizers. And if those
Right.
things work out, you're not invested that much. Hey,
Right.
you know,
That's
you're
so
amazing.
smart.
Let's go to dinner.
Yeah.
And then guess
Yeah.
what? A walk on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like 4 segments in the same night. I'm done after the coffee.
Right.
If I know like she looks like a stage 5 clinger, I'm out.
Yeah,
Stage
absolutely.
5 clinger.
Absolutely.
So tell us about that, because a lot of women can be overbearing and they're not knowing that they're repelling people. So what are some tips you could give?
Well, first of all, back to the haircut thing. I love a woman. She told me she was brave enough to, say you got to cut your hair. Some women is like they want the date so bad, or the second date, they're not going to really just have fun and be bad. Now, I wouldn't have got offended, and she probably would have gone on a 4th date if I didn't cut my hair.
Yeah.
I was just looking long term. But I think some of it, I love a woman that's going to tell you and not be afraid to just be the girl you want.
A confident woman.
What's that one movie that she'd eat the eggs and she didn't know really what
Yes.
she loved for
Runaway
breakfast?
Bride.
Runaway Bride.
Yes.
She would just start eating all these eggs,
yeah.
whatever the dude, because she never had her own opinion.
Wow.
And there's so many
Wow.
ladies that
Yeah.
I think want the opinion because they want to be liked or they want to go on that date.
Yeah.
That it's like, no, just
So
be
they're like
you.
Stepford
Be
wives.
you.
It's just,
Yeah.
I'll be whatever
Yeah,
you want me to
absolutely.
be.
Yeah.
Right. And
Absolutely.
so I know I started with saying there may not be a reason why you're single, but sometimes there is reasons. And I think how we can find those things out is ask trusted friends that have wisdom,
Yeah.
that are
Big
on
time.
your side,
Yeah,
that
that's
want
huge.
you to find the
Yeah.
perfect man for you. Ask, like, is there anything in me? Because we all are responsible, single, married, whatever. We're all responsible to keep growing and be bettering ourselves every year. We should be better than the year we were before. And so we need to ask, like, is there something in me? Do I have a blind spot? Am I controlling? Am I fearful? Am I coming on too strong? What do you see
Yeah,
in me
yeah.
that could be repelling people from me? Like, help me. And then be like brave enough to hear that information.
Yeah.
And then work to change, because sometimes there are reasons why men are
Absolutely.
repelled, So
Do you guys have anything to close us out with on that topic? It's a question we got asked quite a lot.
What would repel a guy? I know when I was single, if a girl had too many guy friends around her all the time, I wouldn't.
okay.
It wouldn't entice me. I'd sort of stay away, because I would think you're obvious. You have to be into at least one of them. And
That's
if
what you're
you're,
thinking.
but if you're not, then you just surround yourself with guys all the time, and I don't know if I want to be around. If I want to be dating someone who all their friends are guys.
Would the same go for like a big bunch of girls that hang out together? Like if there's like 12.
Well, I think it's great for a girl to surround herself with other great girls. It's like
Yes.
you put a moat around your castle. There has to be something for the guy to, like a challenge. Like, we want to take the castle. We want to get the princess from the castle. But if you're not presenting yourself in a way that, like, if it's
Right.
easy for guys to get time with you,
Yeah.
then it values that time with you. And any guy can.
Can a woman be too strong? Do you think
Oh,
that
yeah.
can be off-putting? And if so, what does that look like?
a woman's
So you
too
say
strong.
if she's the castle, You want to.
You know, honestly, I don't see that there's many. Those are a rare, in my opinion. What I see more is more drama. So I want to repel
Yeah.
drama.
So drama is
like I want to go.
repellent.
Listen, I want
Yeah.
to take you out to coffee.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about all your dysfunctional girlfriends and how they're about.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
let's talk about
Right.
life and
Yeah.
the future and
Beautiful.
fun things that are uplifting
Absolutely.
and
Gold.
inspiring.
Thank
and
you, guys.
I just feel like
Yeah.
they want to talk about the latest drama going on. It doesn't have to be their
Right.
girlfriends,
Right.
but why does I really look for? Maybe I'm sensitive to it. If all they know how to do to find value is talk about other people or
Oh,
drama,
absolutely.
it's just a turnoff.
Yeah.
Drama,
Thank you.
too many
That's
guy
great.
friends. Those are some repelling
You got to have a
things.
handle on your emotions. Like I think
Yeah.
most guys
Yeah.
understand that that girls probably feel their emotions a bit more and they're a bit more connected to them, but they can't be ruled by them. They've got to actually have a handle on it and be able to manage
This
it.
is so
I
good. I love
know.
having the guys
Can we
here.
talk about putting yourself out there too? Like I'm actually about to have this conversation with someone that I love very much, and it's like they want to be married, but Mr. You're Mr. Perfect, Mr. Right, whatever you want to call it, isn't going to come knocking on your door while you're in your PJs watching Netflix on Friday and Saturday night. Like,
Yes.
go out with your
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And when you go out, smile and
Right.
make eye
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
Like this, is that how it
linger and-
goes?
Yeah,
And
and
dress up
am I doing that?
take care of yourself.
Linger in the
Yes.
lobby after church. You know, people come in and then they bolt right away and they go,
Yeah,
oh, I
come
never
on.
meet anyone. Well, did you allow an opportunity
Yeah.
for someone
Yeah,
to meet you?
are you creating those
Linger, smile,
environments?
Yes,
introduce
for
yourself.
connection?
Yes.
I love it.
Get
Thank
out
you,
there.
guys. I feel like we've at least started this conversation, and that's going to help a lot of people. Thanks for joining us on Cherish TV. We're going to see you next time.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her worth is far above rubies. She seeks wool and flax, and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night, and provides food for her household. She girds herself with strength, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come.